In this video, we will look at some of the terms that are used in Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. We'll begin with this word language. Language is the spoken or written words so that people can understand each other. Now in Chapter 2, you're going to get this word bypassing. Bypassing means when the same word means different things to different people. So people don't understand each other. They have a different meaning of the same word. Bypassing. Now you will find that a word has both a connotative and a denotative meaning. Well, that simply means that a word has either feelings associated with it. Connotative. When your friend greets you with a warm hello, you feel the pleasure of his greeting. Denotative is the dictionary or literal definition. So I looked up the word communication, and that's what Wikipedia said, the denotative meaning. Right, in communication, you get both an I message and a you message. Well, what is an I message? Well, an I message is how you feel. I'm happy to see you. It's a nice way to communicate. And then you get what is shown here is a you message. And that is when a person confronts or blames someone. You made me feel angry. That's a you message. Now, in medical English, the word empathy is important because it's not just feeling what another person feels, but it's responding with care, as in the video on screen. He's responding to the patient's injury with care. Empathy. Now, Chapter 3 is nonverbal communication. We covered this definition in the first video. Nonverbal communication. Do you remember what it is? It's body language, gestures, and tone of voice. So let's look at some nonverbal communication terms. Substitute. A nonverbal message can substitute or take the place of a verbal message. Now in football, when one player comes off, you send on a substitute. He takes the place of the other player. And that's a nonverbal message. Can substitute a verbal message. Then you get complement. A nonverbal message can complement or complete a verbal message. Compliment means to say something nice. So look at this fan. He's using nonverbal message to complement his verbal message. Now, the opposite is contradict. That means to say the opposite of. And sometimes a message, a non-verbal message, can contradict a verbal message. So look at this video. The player wanted to kick the ball into the goal, but he did the opposite. And a non-verbal message can do the opposite of a verbal message, to contradict. Now, the final term that I'm going to explain from Chapter 3 is to regulate. Well, regulate means to control something, to manage the speed of a process. For example, these soldiers will march together. They control their movements, so they move together. One man will call out the time. Regulate means to control. So those are some of the terms you will find in Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. You can now begin reviewing Chapter 2.